Well, hi, ZIL fam. Chase Raz here from the Zilliqa Observer, and I'm going to come to you with a super fast video here about the ZilSwap governance proposal, and that's currently on the ZilSwap governance site. So this isn't over at governance.zilliqa. This is at gov.zilswap.io. You can see that right here. This is being discussed fairly heavily across social media today in the Zilliqa community. And here's the basis of it. Let me walk through some of the short parts before I give any opinion or thoughts or anything like that. The title is Changes to Lightning Liquidity Mining Program. And essentially what that means is ZWAP rewards were recently redistributed. I think they went into effect like within the past 24 hours. And this is a proposal to change that, the thing that just went into effect. I'm not going to give you commentary right now, but you can pick up on my tone that really the thing that just went into effect today, you want to change. So look, I'll digress on that. I don't want to give you opinion right here. Here's what they want to do. They want to increase the ZWAP-ZIL mining rate, essentially saying, let's take more of the ZWAP generation that we just gave out to other LPs and bring it back to ZWAP. And I'm going to talk about that one specifically in a moment. Don't inflate other pool rewards when there are insufficient qualifying tokens. Okay, we'll get there. Reduce round time to 30 days. Yeah, okay. All right, I'm just listing right now. And reduce minimum vote threshold to 10%. So reduce the quorum to 10%. This is going to make things easier to pass. There's two minds of that one. Let me go in reverse order. There are two minds of that. It also lets things fly under the radar a little bit easier, because if everything's a minor little vote, this is the whole, over here in the United States, we have this conversation all the time. We're a democratic republic and not a democracy, because if you put all these little nitpicky things that people have to pay attention to all the time, you eventually end up with a system that can very, very easily be abused. In fact, a lot of our political corruption, things like gerrymandering to whatever else, are related to this issue, where the more you do these minor little votes, the more people get governance fatigue and eventually stop paying attention. So I'm a little wary of that, but I don't see that as the intent here. The intent is being said, let's make it easier. But with great power comes great responsibility. And I think understanding how democratic systems work, and I mean in a truly philosophical way. I mean, go read Plato's Republic right now if you're like, what the hell is this guy talking about? And until we have that basis, and until we have some treaties of various democratic governments from across the globe for the past several centuries, until we're operating at that level, it's not as simple as saying it makes it easy. I just want to put that out there. Reduce the round time to 30 days. I don't really care what the round time is. I don't have any opinion on that. Don't inflate other pool rewards when there are insufficient qualifying tokens, and increase. Well, let me get down into this. So the motivation, they say, is, hey, this thing we just rolled out, the problem is there's insufficient reward for people putting ZWAP, for putting liquidity into the ZWAP pool. So, hey, we have this thing called ZWAP. It's the yield token for our DEX. We give it out in our liquidity pools. And of course, we have a liquidity pool for it itself. The problem seems to be here that in readjusting, there isn't sufficient utility on the ZWAP token itself to incentivize people to go and earn more ZWAP. So one of the ideas, if you really jump into it and you look at this chart down here, the idea is to essentially say, let's redistribute this to where this massive bulk of ZWAP is being given to ZWAP holders. Let's give more governance to the governance holders. We're already in that problem of why philosophy on democratic structures was already necessary. This essentially, even if it has the best of intent, whether it's an omission or not, it's an accidental omission. If not, an accidental omission that ZWAP has no utility. It's simply good for little votes like this, tiny quorum. Let's just throw governance out. Let's do these changes. What really I think needs to happen here is that ZWAP needs to take a look at like Pancake Swap that Zilliqa is working with and others. And we have to ask ourselves, where are the LP tokens? Where's the ability to yield farm with ZWAP? When those things are introduced, I think we can have this conversation again. But until then, I got to go no on this. Sorry.